Hello guys, welcome to today's video. It's TPM5 and I'm going to be previewing the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat. I'm going to start with the Cavs side of things, then give you my thoughts on the Miami Heat, and then I'll give you my prediction towards the end of the video. So without further ado, let's get started. The Cleveland Cavaliers have opened up their season going 16-12 through their first 28 games. They've been one of the feel-good stories of the NBA, coming out of nowhere seemingly after a couple, rather disappointing seasons, and their youth has been amazing. And despite having one of the most, difficult schedules to start the season, they're above 500, and most importantly, they're out of the play-in as of now. They're currently on a three-game winning streak, with the most recent win coming against the Sacramento Kings. Isaac Okoro had a great offensive night with 20 points, and the Cleveland Cavaliers had 7 players scoring in double digits as well in the 117-103 win over the Kings, like I'd said before. Now, the Cavaliers have been lucky in terms of injury. They're only missing Colin Sexton, who is sadly going to be out for quite a large period of the year. Now, this young team's playing with a lot of energy and effort. They're getting out, they're running, they're playing the game at a pace which suits them. Obviously, one of the younger teams in the league can kind of afford that impact on the body. Now, before I continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. I make NBA content 2 to 3 times a week. Obviously, a lot of teams I'll talk about, so feel free, if you don't go for either of these teams, to still chuck a subscribe, and that's enough of me begging. Let's continue. A shining, bright spot for the team has been Darius Garland, who's improved on his pretty decent season last year, currently averaging 19 points and 7.5 assists, as the leading ball handler for this roster, with Colin Sexton not being present. Jarrett Allen's proved his worth for that extension he signed in the offseason, averaging 17 points and 11 rebounds, a key presence down in the low block. And then they have, for the Cavs, 7 can be a very lucky number. They have 7 players who are averaging at least 11 points this season, and that doesn't even include Colin Sexton, who, like I'd said before, is out. That is with knee surgery. Now, the Cavaliers have been one of the better defensive teams in the league, which is where they've really made their name and improved this season. They're currently the third best team on defense, above teams like the Jazz, Bucks, and Heat, who have been previously renowned for that, their efforts on that side of the floor. On offense, it's kind of a mediocre, kind of the lesser of the two tails. They're mediocre, 18th best in the league, still above teams like the Mavericks and the Lakers, so not exactly the worst spot for them at this point in time. Now, an X Factor player I like to highlight and give some credit to, well, actually 2 of them, Ricky Rubio coming off of the bench, and also Kevin Love. K Love's putting in 11 points and 7 boards in just 20 minutes a night, and Ricky Rubio has been a great veteran presence for this team, playing significant minutes now. Probably not what we're expecting, but obviously Sexton's out, Sexton's gone, and that is what he's going to be required to do. I think the Cavs are every chance to compete in this game. They've got depth, one of the deepest rosters in the league. That sounds really funny, but no, I'm being serious. One of the deepest rosters, and they're on a roll. And they also have, the belief of a young team as well, and the veterans to help them through that. Now, as you guys can see, I've had the Miami Heat guys on the screen for a little while. Let's talk about them before I give my prediction. The Miami Heat have gone 16-11 through the first 27 games, currently on a 2-game winning streak, improving and finding ways to play without Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler's been out with a bruised tailbone, and he missed the recent game against the Bulls because of a contusion. Now, they did play the Bulls, like I just said. They won 118-92, so a pretty convincing win. Duncan Robinson hit 5 of 9 from 3, and Kyle Lowry had 14 points and 14 assists as well, so filling in that playmaking void and scoring void, that was left by Jimmy Butler. Now, they're without Jimmy Butler, like I'd said probably 3 times by now. Caleb Martin and also Markieff Morris. Caleb Martin and Markieff Morris have been very good, with Markieff Morris being a veteran for the team, and also Caleb Martin being, a surprising guy who's really had some good plays and has had a few nice dunks throughout this season. But like I'd said, Jimmy Butler is unlikely to play in this game, which is a big blow considering he's averaging 23 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. But they have Tyler, Tyler Hero, who's filled in some of the scoring gap with 20.7 points off of the bench. Bam Adebayo has been pretty good, averaging 19 and 10, and Kyle Lowry is really finding his groove in South Beach, averaging 13 points and 8 assists. They would like to get a bit more out of Duncan Robinson. Probably, he hasn't played the greatest so far, but that can always change. They're the 6th best offense in the league. That's pretty impressive despite missing Jimmy Butler for a few games now. Obviously, early in the season, the averages are more impacted by the absences from players. They're 6th. They could easily be higher. They're only a decimal, 0.1 behind Memphis, so they're not particularly far off of being higher up that list. And on defense, where they've made their name under Eric Spoelstra with Jimmy Butler and Adebayo, they're 9th best in the league in terms of defense. So I expect them to really come out and focus on their strengths, which is probably defending, keeping teams to low scores. When you're missing personnel, that's the one thing that translates. The Cavs, on the other hand, will probably keep the score low in this game as well. I think I back the Heat in this game, and as much as I do, as a neutral for this game, want to see the Cavs go out there and win, I think that the Heat are probably more well drilled and they have more veterans that know what it takes to win in unfavorable circumstances. So I'm going to go with the Heat, probably like a 100-93 kind of score line, nothing too high in this modern NBA. But that is it for the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, it's been TPM5. Thanks for watching.